Now, there was a small spot of bother for Opposition Leader Peter Dutton today when he again said, as he has been saying this week, that unlike Donald Trump, he wouldn't pull out of the Paris Accords, but he appeared to say today that he would break its terms. He started on 2GB this morning where he said we couldn't pull out of the deal because it would hurt exports.
We're an export nation, so unlike the United States, we're a small nation. We're a population of only 27 million people. We produce more than we can consume, and farmers and manufacturers rely on markets in Asia, in Europe, in America to export our products. And we've signed up to an international agreement which I think will have continuing relevance for countries in Europe, and the future dynamic can change, but we have to act in our country's best interest. And to have European countries, for example, but not exclusively, applying tariffs to our exports would mean a loss of economic activity here, a loss of jobs.
Then he spoke at a presser a little later and said he wouldn't be setting any targets other than net zero by 2050.
We're not having targets. I've said this before. The government's got a secret plan in relation to 2035, which has all sorts of assumptions. I suspect the Prime Minister doesn't want you to know about. The Prime Minister is hiding this before the election because he doesn't want people to know what the 2035 target will mean for electricity prices. We've committed to net zero by 2050. That's the commitment that we've made, and that's what we will honour.
Now, the only problem with that is that under the terms of the Paris Accords, you must set a new target every 5 years. It says so in Article 4, Paragraph 9. Each party shall communicate a nationally determined contribution every 5 years, and Paragraph 11 says that you can change that only to make your target more ambitious. So by what Dutton was saying there, we'd stay in the Paris Accords, but we wouldn't obey them, which would open us up to the same sort of sanctions he talked about earlier in the morning. And in that case, what's the point of staying in the accord? But this afternoon, coalition sources told The Australian that Dutton would set a 2035 target if he won government, so it would be business as usual. And I know Dutton is worried about Teals and the wets in his own party who are demanding more be done about climate change. But I'll give you a hint. If we're not going to meet our 2030 targets, and we won't, then the whole thing isn't worth the paper it's written on. People in marginal seats are far more worried about the cost of their power bills than they are about emissions.